Alright, and we're back, and we're here to talk about the Robotics Connection Serializer 3.0. Here you see it mounted and configured with multiple components. I'm going to just kind of break it down for you easily. Let's start off by, let me just remove one of these components here so you can see what it looks like raw. So as you can see, it's a fairly straightforward board. Mainly pay attention to this section here. So this square here, ignore these for now on the side. We'll go into those in a bit. Basically, you have various connectors and whatnot on the actual serializer. Here you have an onboard, ready to go, basically XB connection, so you can hook up just about anything you want there. What we typically hook up is either a USB connector, okay, or an actual XB module, like something like this one here. However, this is the GPS module. We usually hook up the Wi-Fi module to the serializer. We haven't actually tested it with the GPS module. The other thing that you do have, so as you can see, we have, this is the spots for power on the side here, and we have it rigged with our wiring harness that's ready to go just for this kit. Furthermore, you have your ports here, so these are your digital and analog ports. Okay, so it's got quite a bit of that. You also have an I2C connector here. Other things that you might have that you can use, I believe over here you have things for your motors, things like that. What else do we have here? It's kind of hard to see, so let's check that out. So yeah, we have for your motors here and here, and it looks like we have a serial connector there. It's pretty straightforward again, so it's not that hard to use, and it comes complete with a .NET API library that you can use to actually interface with this. However, you don't necessarily have to, because it's a completely serial interface. If you just open up a terminal program, you can easily make calls against a serializer. So that's the beauty of this board. One of the things you can't do with this board, though, is you can't download your own type of firmware to it. It's basically what you have is what you get. So it's not as expandable as other units. However, if you're new to robotics and you haven't used other type of microcontroller before and you want to get your feet wet, we highly recommend this because it requires minimal programming. And not only that, but you can get a complete ID for Microsoft for free just to program with this and interface it with the API libraries that come free from Robotics Connection. That is actually one of the nicest things we've seen from all the different microcontroller manufacturers, that they actually have a full extensive library that's easy to use on a current language versus some of the other ones. Now, some of the other things that we have here, I mean, you can see we have it mounted to one of our project boxes, and as you can see, we have this little special device here. This is basically an I2C expansion board that we purchased from Robotics Connection. It allows us to connect more than one I2C device. Here we can connect up to 5, okay, and it basically gets piggybacked onto this, and you just use your basic I2C memory addresses. One of the things, again, since this is a limited board and you can't necessarily download all the firmware onto it, is that you want to make sure that whatever I2C devices you do buy are compatible with this unit and are already fully supported, or don't require any firmware, or any type of custom coding that has to be downloaded onto the microcontroller. We've tried to get it working. For example, for some ultrasonic sensors that are not supported out of the box here, that require some type of code, we tried to get it working through the .NET libraries, but it's just not fast enough. We need it faster, and the only way we can attain that speed is by actually being on the microcontroller. Again, it's fairly straightforward to use, very easy. We highly recommend this unit for somebody who's just getting started and wants to understand what robotics is. If you couple this with all their other kits, like the Tractor 2 or the Stinger, and maybe get the E-Box, this is a great a great platform to build upon, to get used to, and work with. However, the only thing I do recommend is, the support is rather limited, so you're going to be glued to their forums and waiting around for answers. So that is definitely something that I would have to recommend, or have to mention, because unlike Arduino, this is a custom board just for their products, so there is not as much support for it on the web as we'd like. All in all, I say this is a good board to start off with. Take care, and hope to see you soon.